Amazing. So what I usually do is I kind of just go for a scan when I approach the charts. So from tomorrow I'm back onto my 5 a.m. routine. But today, obviously, I have quite a lot of things I do in the morning, affirmations and whatnot, and meditation. So today was a really enlightened day for me. So let's quickly just bring this back up. So looking at this over here, the USD currency has actually been declining quite a fair amount. So we could be seeing some very sharp pullbacks up here, essentially, or we could see this just continue to drip. But I think at the moment, it's too soon to tell. It does look like it's just, pretty much just squeezing lower, lower, lower. So at the moment, it's too early to determine, but this doesn't seem like any strong progressive shorting action. But like I said, it can just continue to trickle. So DXY is fairly chill. I mean, until we see any sort of significant pull back up here, I'm not really entertaining it. But bearing in mind that if we go to lower time frames, we could be forming something a little bit more complex. So essentially, we just have to be more on the ball, see some running channels and so forth. So I think definitely staying a bit sharp with this one is very important, because I think when it shapes up, it's going to shape up really nicely. So DXY is a fairly simple one, but there was definitely an opportunity in here which I would not have entertained anyway. But that was mostly it. So there's a flag here and then push down. There's a flag here, continuation. Definitely very valid. But we were just trading into this as well. So that was holding strong probability, and then with the impulsive approach, it was way more than enough, to be honest. So I think as a trade, in terms of structure, in terms of how it kind of formed together, DXY really did present something really nice here. It's just unfortunate that when you go and look over on the Euro USD, you didn't actually see this sort of structure. So you know, um, it's one of them ones. But yeah, DXY really shaped up quite nice here. If I was to take a position, it would have probably been around about there. Would have probably slapped on the risk around about here, and then yeah, I'd be running around about 4%. So pretty good trade in itself. But yeah, that's the DXY. Let's go into the watch list. So watch list, essentially I had this on forecast. So I had GA. So GA, we had this inflection point that we basically looked at on the Sunday market breakdown. So on the Sunday market breakdown, I basically covered the fact that we have this small inflection point. It's just an inflection point, but it could be a turning point, because essentially I'm seeing this more as an M star sort of. We have this sort of 1, 2, 3 middle section, and then we extended to an inflection point, and then we had a strong push away. We had a retest, which is very funny because I had an entry over here for the sell, and then we came all the way back up, retested, and then there was another entry within this zone here. So currently I'm short on this position, and yeah, it's not too bad. So pretty much I think it's around about here somewhere. Squeeze it in there, and yeah, that's basically the trade. So it's running around about pretty good at the moment. But yeah, so GA is looking really nice for the short. I think, right now we're in a very critical point and we could potentially just bounce back. But I think giving it some time and this momentum that we have with this flag, potentially we could see this push down, enough momentum accumulated and a stronger push. So this little bit of price here is great, because could have just been catching people on the wrong side, and now we could just get that impulsive approach. Right now we just have to wait for that hourly close. Um, Ideally, what I would be looking at is if this pushes a bit or gets a bit corrective, pushes down, we get a retrace on this low, then I might be inclined to maybe be, kind of maybe tightening up my stop loss. But at the moment, I'm not going to tighten it up too much. This is just a bit of a pullback at the moment, but we could just get a small correction and then sell off. So stay patient. It's definitely still a very good trade on the table, but we have to look at the larger structure. And, there's a possibility we can even come back up to here, another inflection point and so forth. Right now, this does look like a break above, a squeeze, and a push higher. But because of the amount of momentum in the structure I'm seeing, I'm seeing this as its own structure, and I think it has potential. The impulse and the correction is slightly bigger than this impulse, but if I take this as the big larger correction, then it's irrelevant. So I'm trading the bigger picture in this one opposed to what is currently here. And I think if this is going to be a good structure to play out, more than happy to, you know, just get involved here and just let this run. And if it runs, it runs. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we'll have to wait and see. Next one I'm looking at is GY. So GY is a bit of a slow one for me. It's basically one where I was looking for sort of a pushback down, create some sort of larger flag, but it seems like we are trickling with momentum. And I think with how price is trickling, I wouldn't be surprised if, we just continue to trickle. And then if we trickle, we come up and then we just spike and then we trickle again, spike, a lot of things can happen. So GY is just one I kind of put on watch because I just wanted to for some reason. I had space and I thought it's one I'm going to monitor. So I don't think there's anything special about it at this moment in time, unfortunately for me. But if something significantly changes, then yeah, I'll definitely have it on watch. But for now, I think GY is what it is, and I'm just going to leave it down here. USD CAD. So I'm also short on this one currently. So basically, as I forecasted as well on my Sunday market breakdown, we had this sort of section here, and then we had this nice evening star. And then it kind of actually formed a head and shoulders if I zoom into the 1 hour. So not the clearest to make out, but if I pull out the line chart, you can actually see it. So we had the break above, push up, left shoulder, really tall head, and then right shoulder, and then sell off. It's nice because you know it's valid, but it's just obviously it's one of them ones where it's just very unique. So yeah, I guess I'm really happy about that one because obviously it is playing out quite nice at the moment. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to let that materialize. I don't think the entry is as relevant to where I took it, um, but yeah, I mean you can imagine where I did take it. And yeah, so currently locked in break even. Not really going to entertain a 1% on this one anyway. Um, so yeah, it will just have to keep running. But yeah, hopefully all's well. We get this 1, 2, 3 pattern, or even we just continue selling off, and then it is what it is. But I think a 1, 2, 3 would be nicer in this sort of area. So we kind of just maybe correct back up here, that click completes, and then we sell. Something like that wouldn't be uncommon. I think it would be quite nice as well, complement this whole structure, and then we can take that to the downside, and it'll be a beautiful run in itself. So that's USD CAD. USD yen, still just similar to GY. I was looking at the high value area high. Unfortunately, we haven't really made it, so I'll call that a near miss. But it seems like we've had a push away, and we might be creating some structure. It isn't the sort of two bottoms I'm looking for because it's giving me that expanding feel. So I'm going to stay out of this one. But if it does kind of shape up, and we do get some decent structure forming within here, then I might entertain it. But for now, I'm going to stay out of it. New Zealand yen, similar situation. I'm waiting for that third touch. I'm waiting for the spike push up, taps into this zone here, and then when we get that solid rejection, I'll look for the flag. So I'm way away from it. It could be next week. Well, most probably with the way price is moving, it's probably a next week trade, or it could even push to the week after, unfortunately, because I won't be taking a risk entry. I'll be waiting for the push down on the flag, and this could probably extend, catch people out on the wrong side before it comes down. So that's the risk I take, obviously. But it is what it is. At the end of it, it's going to be very profitable and rewarding when it does play out. Aussie, New Zealand dollar. Obviously, we've reached another inflection point. It's not the sort of progressive price action I'm looking for the upside, unfortunately. So I'm not going to be taking a push up and a flag at this point. It would have to be more for solid push up flag. So this one is obviously off the table. I think we might be going even shorter at this point. So I will be kind of keeping an eye on this because we have kind of just impulse to it. If we do get a strong push away and then we continue it with a flag, that's nice. If we come up here and continue with a flag, even better. But I think for now, this might just correct and then push a bit lower, and then we might come up if we are going to pull back up. But this is just another inflection point. We are slowly trickling and making our way lower, lower, lower. So just definitely have to be on the ball with my management and be patient. Euro, New Zealand dollar. Now, like Aussie, New Zealand dollar, there's many inflection points on the way down. I've marked on this one because, I think with how structure is complementing it, this could be an area where it could pull back. But now I'm seeing this non-progressive price action. I'm starting to reconsider that actually this pair could just be creating a large pattern to go lower. So at this moment in time, I think we could get a pullback, possibly, but it's just kind of the angle that I don't think is the easiest one. Um, so I'm more so just interested in, what will this pair really offer me in terms of structure? There's no structure, no trade, really. This is a very messy middle section if it is one. So, this it's not the cleanest of trades to take. So for that particular reason, I am going to stay out of this for now. But if we do start making it up to this area, then I can look at that sort of inflection point. But for now, it's a week away. I could be looking at Friday. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. Euro GBP. Now this is solid, honestly. Now this is a game changer a bit right now because we've had this low and we had this sort of expanding at the low. We filled the expanding and now we're literally just pulling all the way back up. Now this is sort of I wouldn't have entered any trades here, unfortunately, just because of how low we are in structure. But as we're pulling back above here and we've broken this sort of zone, if we can push up here, and this was my line in the sand, if we push up here and create any sort of flags on or above this line, I'm looking for a decent trade. So for that reason, I'm going to put that on watch today. I've got USD CAD and GBP Aussie, only because I'm running profit on those two. But Euro GBP, definitely, I'm going to keep that one on watch as well. I like it, I really do. Let's just see how it reacts to this line in the sand. It's definitely an inflection point. It could definitely bounce back down, but we've got to really look at it this way. What have we actually done now? We've broken above all of this price, so we're in the trend reversals territory right now. So I like to see this sort of reverse, create a flag, and let's go. So that's something I'll be keeping on forecast. I'll just slap it in here. This is a push up and flag territory. It's not exactly the size I'm looking for, but it's the territory I'm looking at. So we'll see how that goes. Euro Aussie. Now Euro Aussie was a bit of it's one where it didn't really come down for the third touch. I guess I was looking for a little bit too much maybe because I drew it in like that. I should have drawn it in like this and then seen it like that. And this is what it was truly at. It's okay. I'm not really bothered that I kind of wasn't able to, let's say, read between the lines at that one. But I think even so, it's better now because I've been able to acknowledge the fact that we are getting more continuation. So, I had a beautiful trade in here. This is the continuation large flag, and we're getting that bullish momentum that we're looking for. Beautiful trade in here as well. Wouldn't have taken it, unfortunately. I'm looking at this still, looking at this to potentially still come low. How low, I don't know, but it's most probably going to go for the long. So we could create something like this, but I'll look for the three touch and then I'll be in. So it'll be more so something like that at this point now. Um, the likelihood of that happening is actually extremely low. However, it's possible. So, with the possible and the whole probable, I think, definitely being patient and waiting that one out is interesting. There's also a value zone in this sort of area here, but which I won't entertain. But, the one, two, three, beautiful, which I'll just lock in a little bit closer. And then we've also got it on the top now. So essentially we've completed this pattern. If we did want to get involved, we are as soon as now ready anyway, but the stop loss is about 100 pips for me. So it's not something that I feel like will be, in terms of risk reward, that there is a risk reward in there, but um, yeah, then again, like it can still run me around about 7%, even with that sort of pip sort of ratio, which is very, very interesting. So, it's one that I think has to be contemplatable. I wouldn't take 100 pip stop loss, unfortunately. However, now I know that we're getting confirmation on this trend move. I just have to be patient and wait for some more continuation structures to develop. So EA is possibly one that I will have to say is a mistrade. That was a mistrade for me, unfortunately. However, there will be more opportunity. So going off the basis of more opportunity, yeah, I'll just be patient and wait. So yeah, just got to be patient and wait. I'll leave that on here because it's triggered. CAD Swiss, a little bit early now. basically it's just trickling in this sort of momentum. I think we're gonna get a different angled pattern. I think it's gonna be more so something like a flaggish sort of, you know, something like this, and then we'll push up and then push back down. I think that's more so of the gameplay at the moment. I'll put this one to the side because I think it's still a possibility that, you know, this push down and the flag could happen, but it's becoming less likely now. This is forming more as a middle section. And then I think with that middle section there, we're just seeing some sort of bull flag. But this could become a running channel, really and truly. You know, it's corrective, corrective, push up, corrective again. You know, I think it's just it's in such a valuable area that I think it's just one that you should be. I need to be extra patient with. You know, I can't literally just jump on this trade because of something so small now. I've got to wait for something more significant. So that one's going to have to stay on the side, but it's definitely got a lot of potential. And Euro USD. Now Euro USD is honestly, it's incredible. I love this pair. Like at the moment, it's one that I think, definitely I've taken a lot of mistrades on this in the past, but honestly, phenomenal, phenomenal. You know, what I do like about it now is that we're basically just trickling our way up, um, but not in the sort of way that we're giving an indication for a sell. It just feels like, we're making our way slowly up, and then we're going to just drip, catch people out, just create something. But I'm looking for something more so in two ways. This could be either a larger bear flag, which could complement this sort of pattern here that kind of goes in like this. So I'll be looking at something like that. Let's just say it goes in like that. And it's just a forecast. It doesn't, a lot can change. And then we come in low, and then we go in high. And then this pattern becomes something like this. And yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking could possibly happen with this pair. So yeah, I'm just kind of broadly forecasting, looking for that middle section. So I think this could be a way away, to be honest. But honestly, it's going to be a good pair. It's going to be a very good pair. And this doesn't look like it'll be uncommon. Looking at how the DXY is shaping up, looking at how everything is. Oh boy, it's going to be nice. So just got to wait it out. So yeah, that's basically it for this week. I'm going to put this all into my sort of daily forecast now. But yeah, it's looking really nice. Really happy with that. So yeah, have a good weekend. Have a good day. Good week. Sorry, always do that. Yeah, and it's Thursday tomorrow. So still got a lot of time this week for a lot of trades to materialize. So have a good week. Bye.